Hello, I'm George Edmundson, and on my left we have Conor Chaplin. Like to introduce yourself. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. And we have a new guest and a special guest because he has actually requested to come on the show himself, and it is Kane Vincent-Young, aka Kane.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Two times.
Well, on this episode, it's a serious episode this week because we're working with Suffolk Mind, who the club have been working with for 4 years now, and it's all about the stigma of mental health. So I've got the boys with me to discuss a few points with you, and hopefully we can all come together at the same conclusion. So, are you ready, boys?
Let's go.
Let's go. First question. How did the pandemic have an effect on your mental health? Conor.
I think I wasn't too bad with it, just because probably it's easier for us than most people because of during the pandemic we had to keep ourselves fit. We were obliged to keep fit and keep running some sort of routine. We had the guidance through the football clubs that we were with at the time, through programs and things like that, which obviously helps massively from my part anyway in terms of going out, running, made sure I got up early, walked the dog every morning. Just trying to get in a routine to get through it. No one knew how long it was going on for, did they? So that kind of helped me, so I was quite lucky in that sense.
Good. Kano?
I'll echo Chappers, to be fair. I think having a routine, as he said, is massive. I think being around people as well, you know, having your family there, I think, you know, I was sparing a thought during the pandemic for people that were alone. You know, it must be so difficult waking up, not knowing when something's going to end, and, you know, to compound things, you're kind of by yourself, you know, confined to four walls, so it must have been really difficult for those kind of people.
Yeah, I agree. Did you have a routine as well?
Yeah, kind of similar to Chappers, you know, like you said, we had an obligation to keep ourselves fit, so it was nice to kind of be able to get out in the morning, you know, go for a run, among other things. But I think, without it, you would have been struggling a bit.
Yeah, I think so. But a thing I'll probably just point on is it's probably good now that we do have phones, you know, I'm always on my Xbox, you know, playing, so you can still chat to people,
interaction,
definitely interact with people, but
then
obviously the point is not many people do as such, really, do they?
I think Kane's right though in terms of probably elderly people as well were probably ones that suffered quite big because they were obviously at high risk and probably didn't have anyone with them. If they hadn't got a partner, then it's obviously very hard. So, like you say, we were quite lucky that we were with people. Majority of people had people, but a lot of people didn't as well.
No, I agree.
Absolutely.
Next question, please.
Let's go.
Did you find it easy to discuss how you're feeling? Okay, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think as time's gone on, I feel like as men, especially the environment that we're in, sometimes it's perceived as weak, kind of, you know, to speak up about how you're feeling. But I think a lot of people have come out and kind of, you know, we're doing well to almost dispel that myth. I think it's really important to speak up and speak out about how you're feeling because, you know, I know some people feel like, oh, it's a burden and whatnot, but it makes you feel so much better. A lot of the time people can be feeling the same way, so it's something you can get through together. So I think in that that pandemic period, I think, you know, speaking out, being honest about your emotions, your feelings was definitely something that was helpful.
Yeah, I agree. Conor?
Yeah, I completely agree. I probably, when I first started playing, I was exactly the same as Kane. Probably thought that it was a weakness to come out and say that you're even just maybe not happy one day. I'm quite a bubbly, energetic person anyway, but everyone has
we know that.
everyone has them days where you don't feel the way you are. But I think like Kane said, it's something that the stigma is definitely lifting, which is so important. And if the pandemic did show us something, it was that the sort of how important mental health is and helping everyone. I think probably everyone now knows someone, a friend or family member that struggled mentally during the pandemic. So it's so important for everyone.
Yeah, I think so too, to be honest. I think as well, from the pandemic, really, it's been like, you know, I've had a few messages that I won't really, probably my mates won't do with me from the pandemic because I've been on my own, living away from home, you know. Just the odd text from them or I'm on my Xbox, so I do talk to them, but if I haven't spoke to them for a couple of days...
Checking up on people more, yeah?
A few more people have since the pandemic anyway, because everybody's in the same boat. You know, I've been checking up on me, really.
How did you find it living alone?
It's tough. I've got used to it now.
Was you on your own the whole time?
For the start of it, and then I went back home.
Yeah.
But just for the start, obviously, because we didn't really know when we were going back to football.
Yeah.
So it was like, I said to my mum, Dad, I'll just stay up here because I could come home and then I get a text saying we're in tomorrow at 9. So nobody really knew what was going on. So I stayed for, I think it was like a couple of weeks, and then boy, it was, you know what, I was like Deliveroo, Uber Eats, you know, it's probably not the best, but because you couldn't really go out, or I was just lucky I kind of had my Xbox. But what I'm saying is like my mates were, my mum, dad, sister, you know, they were all checking up on me, which you know, I'd never really had that before. So since like I've had it, you know, it just makes you feel that bit more better in a way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably not the best way to explain
Not
it.
everybody's so lucky though, are they?
Yeah,
You know, having that support system is really important. Not a lot of people have that. So.
But I think it's important for, say, like as a team as well. You know, we're together every day. We probably see each other the most out of everybody. So I think it's good some days, and the lads do it here, to be fair. Yeah. You know, like, you all right today? Or, you know, if you're having a bit of, like, I've had a few sticky sessions and a few of the lads have gone, come on, lad, you know, like today. But no, like, obviously a few of the lads have been like, everything all right. Staff as well have been top notch, to be honest. So
to be fair, point on that with this environment as well, obviously there's been not a lot of new players, so lads have been at hotels an awful lot. And I think there has been an effort from majority of the squad to try and get everyone together and go out for food, and
that's
rather
right.
than just
The lads have
sit in
been
the hotel.
great.
Yeah,
you know,
really good.
Just probably talking about football there, because that's the environment we're in, is like, I don't think some people kind of realise and understand that, say we're in training or we play a game and say you've not had the best game, and then you go home. So like you said, most of the lads are in hotels, and you know, because there's not much, you've not got, say, any of your schoolmates or what have you here. Yeah. You just sat in a room.
Easy to feel isolated.
Yeah, and you just, sometimes obviously it can bog people down, but that's where, like you were saying, the lads are good. You know, we have coffee club, you know, we always go for food. Well, we were playing pool the other day, which I did beat Kyle at. Smashed him at it. But, and TC as well, I can't forget him actually. He was on there. He had to go downstairs on his own table, he was that bad. But, like, I think we have got a good group as such.
Yeah, we have,
you know,
a great group.
The lads, I'm actually waiting for an invite to Kane's, but I'm sure it'll come on Champions League.
Next Champions League night, you'll be there.
He said he's going to cook for me, so on the next episode I'll let you know what he's cooked. But like, I do think we have like a good group.
Really strong group. Really strong,
you know, if somebody new comes in, like, I'm just speaking of personal experience, but as soon as I come in, you know, the lads invited me out straight away, make sure I was part of the group, and that makes sure I was all right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Next question.
Yep.
When you have a good game, does that help you feel a sense of achievement, and does that help your mental health?
Probably used to make me feel on top of the world when I had a good game. Not so much anymore, because I think it's so important. Like you said, we've spoke about it before, we can only speak about the environment and the profession that we're in, because we know a lot about it, but there's a low in football just around the corner. Everyone knows that. Whether it's a bad game, an injury, non-selection, just around the corner. So I think probably one of the best bits of advice I've had in football is don't get too high and don't get too low.
Because they can go from...
Exactly, yeah. You can be up there scoring a worldie, a hat trick, or whatever it may be, and then
clean sheet will go. Really.
And then being all the way down as well if you get an injury or something like that. Yeah. So I think that's probably one of the best bits of advice I've had, and you need to stick by that, I think, to be quite stable.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better, really. This, I think, is about balance, isn't it? I feel like it's something that comes of age as well.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're young and you have a good game, as Chaplin said.
Yeah, 100%.
You feel on top of the world, but you know what football's like. You know, it humbles you so quickly. So I think it's so important just to stay balanced. So in answer to your question, I just think you just try and keep it here, regardless of whether things are going well or badly. But then again, we're human, so you're going to feel great if you've had a good game, and you're going to feel quite low if you've had a bad game. So it's just about trying to
I agree,
stay balanced.
That's probably when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, you'd win a game or, I don't know, make your debut or something, and, you know, you were buzzing. Felt dead big in that. And then next game, you're not in the squad, and you just feel like the worst, don't want to speak to anybody, you know, your mum and dad are trying to chat to you kind of thing, and you obviously get a bit angry and a bit agitated and that, and then, but no, I think you're right, to be fair. Kane, just got to keep it there the whole way, and then obviously the end of the season, whatever happens, then you can have your fun. So on the flip side, how does your personal criticism affect your mental health?
If we take it back to the previous question, in terms of how you feel when you've had a good game, it's almost you have to take that on the flip side. So when you've had a good game, try not to get too high. When you've had a bad game and, you know, people are speaking, try not to get too low. I just try and ignore everything, really. You know, us and ourselves, we've been playing long enough, we've experienced enough to know when things aren't going too well and how to deal with it and what to do. So with criticism, I think if it comes from a good place, then absolutely you want to listen. But from external kind of places, I try not to pay too much mind to it, because otherwise, you know, like I said, you just get lost.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's probably become one of the big ones. Everyone uses social media to voice their opinion on games. You watch Super Sunday, the things that are trending is players, teams. It's all that everyone talks about, or majority of people talk about on social media is football, because it's so big in our country. But in terms of actual criticism that you receive, obviously it's not nice. You don't want to see that when you're going on your social media after a game or anything like that. But probably over time as well, it's another thing with age. I've learned to not go on too much if I've had a really good game or a rubbish game either. Because same reason, you don't really want to get too high and carried away with how well you're doing or how well you've played. Just like you don't want to get too bogged down with having a stinker. So it's exactly the same.
I was going to say, probably going back more to the question, after, say, a bad game, do you personally beat yourself up? Or even a good game, do you?
Try not to. I mean, I have done in the past, and it just doesn't really serve you very well.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
You know, because some players do. I've played with players, and they'll have a bad game on the Saturday, and they come in on the Monday, and they're still like, you know, down in the dumps over it.
You have to move forward.
Yeah, I agree.
I used to be terrible with it. I used to when I was younger, and then it affects the people around you as well. People you're spending your time with. If I had a bad game, like ask my family and my girlfriend, it's just horrible to be around you, be snappy, be sort of a bit miserable, not too chatty. I
used to hate losing.
Yeah, it's horrible, but it's not their fault. It's not. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't make it a bad environment for other people because you've had a bad game or you've lost a game. So I think I'm the same as Kane. I used to probably take it home with me more than I do now, which I think is definitely a good thing. I feel way better for it. But things like that, I'm not a big advocate of taking it into the next working week. So Monday's clean slate.
That's what I try.
You need to. It's all about thinking forwards. There's no point looking back whether you've done well or you've not done well.
No, I agree.
You have to draw a line somewhere. And just going back to the question as well, I think as Chaplin said, social media and commenting on games, nobody's really exempt from criticism. It's funny because if you look on, you know, apps like Twitter, it's the best players that are always getting criticised. Which is just, it's so ironic, you know.
Big John criticising Messi. What? It's unbelievable, and he's saying, "Oh, I should have finished that. You should have passed it Mbappe or something." Thinking, "Come on, Big John, you're better than that, John. Come on, lad."
So yeah, you can't get bogged down in it, and like it's something that happens to everybody. So you know.
Yeah, I know.
Part and parcel of it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what. To be fair, that's what I've realised in football. Like even the best players get criticised, you know. So they still getting criticised, and you know they're at the elite level.
Yeah.
Then obviously, you know, it happens to everybody, so you kind of move on from it.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
But no, I just want to see if you beat yourselves up. So on a Monday when I come in and start battering you,
no black eyes, mate.
I didn't know if you were, you know, you beat yourself up already, kind of thing. So we're in the last question already. Quick episode this time. So last question: how do you feel the topic of mental health within football and the dressing room has changed in football? Who wants to lead this one?
I think it's changed for the good, definitely. I think there's organisations that have come out that have really helped that, such as Mind. There's a big one.
Stand up, show them the t-shirt.
Don't stand up, you won't see me.
Yeah, stand up, come on, lad.
But there's a lot that's gone on sort of behind the scenes that the PFA's done, the FA's done, and I think it's huge. Probably look at when we all started, it's not that long ago, but in that short time, there's been a big difference. Probably in how it's perceived as a conversation in general, and day to day with people sort of maybe checking up on each other a bit more, which is important as well. I definitely think it's changed for the better.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think the fact that people have been brave enough to speak out has almost had a snowball effect, you know.
Yeah.
It encourages more people to kind of come forward, but it's good that it's now a much more progressive discussion and conversation within dressing rooms. But I mean, we've still got a long way to go, but it's much better than it was a couple of years ago, as Chaplin said.
I think as well in football, you know, you have the organisations in like mine, but you have psychologists now coming in.
Yeah,
you know,
good shout. Yeah,
we do. Kevin, he's coming. We've done like group meetings. You know, if you don't want to say anything on the group, you can have individual meetings with him. And you know, the clubs I've been at, they've all done it. To be fair,
yeah. So there's a lot more in place, definitely.
Like when I first started youth team and first year pro, it wasn't really about. But now I've got older. It seems like every club's doing it. So which is a good thing for us, really.
And it should be as well. Like everyone says, that's in football, you practice technique, you practice tactical shape, practice in the gym trying to get stronger, fitter, quicker. But before, maybe years gone by, you never practiced keeping confidence, feeling good about yourself. Ask anyone starts having a bad run of form, what is it? Confidence.
Yeah.
So why not train that? If you can always feel confident, then you've got a great chance.
And you know what? I think that's a great point. I think we will end on there.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Unless, did you want to say something?
No, all good, bro.
Go on.
Good. Yeah, your hand's freezing.
Sorry. Did you actually want to say something?
No.
I thought you just a great point to end on.
Really enjoyed the discussion. Pleasure.
Did you? I did forget to ask. Obviously, it is coffee club. So, just last point. What did you order?
I've got a cappuccino in mine.
You sure it's cappuccino? He's lying. It's not a cappuccino. What is it?
It's meant to be green tea, but I have no idea what's in there, honestly.
Are yours meant to be green tea
It's
as well?
meant to be, but it's not
What's
green
yours?
tea.
Mine's green tea.
So how have you got green tea and I haven't got
I don't know, but this one's nice. Last time I had some cold thing and it was, I don't know what it was. It was ice cream
I'll have
tea.
words with whoever bought this in for me.
Backroom staff that's staring at us.
big man.
There he is.
What have you ordered him?
Mint tea was what I got told.
Oh,
Mint? Ooh.
But it's not mint either, so...
Smells like the best.
what's yours? Sounds nice.
It's the funniest thing he said that. No, it's cappuccino I've got. Standard, just a few chocolate sprinkles on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Healthy one, nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Hey, body fats are good, by the way. 44, my body fats are. But anyway, on a serious note, that was for Mental Health Week, and I feel like we've had a good discussion, yeah?
Absolutely
That was good,
brilliant.
enjoyed it.
So, Kano, thank you for being the special guest.
Thank you
Really
very much.
enjoyed you.
Thank you for having
Hopefully,
me.
you can come on again if you'd
invite
like
me.
to.
Absolutely, I'd
Yeah,
love to.
perfect. And as always, Chapstick is with us. So that's been it from Coffee Club. So good morning, good evening, and good night. How good was that?
That was really good. That was really good. That was so smooth.
How good was that? I've been waiting
Did you know
for
you were saying that?
ages.